Hoi, Bailey here. If you heard the message last week, I appreciate your patience. Catching up on the editing. If you're noticing, it's a day earlier. I want to have it caught up this week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your patience. Release dates will be Fridays soon enough. Stay tuned because the content is kicking off. Welcome to Same-ish Different Day, a space where the thoughts are just as Welcome to Same-ish Different Day, a space where everything is on the table and the thoughts are just as frenetic as your Twitter feed. And just like your feed, we kick it off with some talks on some bullshit of the day, and eventually bring you some value with well-cited research on stories you may have missed.
Yeah, this show is the long-term format of marching into madness. A duo of journalists that are developing a content project about their passions. So get ready for that.
Yeah.
Some weeks our strange wine mom drops by to keep us in line, but she's been missing for a little bit, so we don't know what's going on with that.
But
the line, please. But she recently went out for milk and a pack of bogeys, but at least that's what she told us, so we assume she's going to be back anytime now.
Oh, and socials? Socials, we're on all of them. TikTok, IG, YouTube, and Twitch, where we live stream these podcasts on a weekly basis. If you tune in, you can ride out with us afterwards.
Speaking of which, the future variant of this idiot will introduce us in 3, 2, 1. And then you just bring up the...
What's up, internets? Welcome to Same-ish Different Day. A show with a name that we cannot say anymore. This week.
Yeah. I'll say it.
Oh, don't you say it, kid. Don't you say it. I'm going to have to hold you back. Don't do it. Don't do it. They can't handle it. Yeah. So, Raza wanted to keep it light. We wanted to, debate something as well as break it down for people who may not be as in the loop. We wanted to ask, what tickles your pickle when gaming? So, formerly, gaming was very console based, but now the PC master race has also taken a significant foothold in this gaming market. It's become more accessible, and there's many different ways to play. With many places to get fucking good, does the experience change per platform? Or say if you're playing The Witcher 3, or even non-gamery people know like Cyberpunk or GTA, is it just as good on the Switch or a portable console, or does it change the gaming experience to be on a PC or Xbox? Now, Bebe here is also, I'm really interested to hear Raza's opinions on this one, because I'm not sure the general consensus here anymore. So you're also kind of
Neither am I. So.
Bruh, how do you get paid?
Well. Well. Really well.
I like it. I was debating about, I saw it on a clip somewhere, so it is a slightly stolen idea. I am not going to say it's original, but I think what a lot of people who don't think in a meta format of their gaming, how can I be more comfortable? What features do I like? What is the reason that I like this game? People who don't have that secondary thought, I think something they value is the couch gaming experience. Something they're not thinking about is they like to sit on the couch and be able to just fucking drive around in GTA. And I think that's one of the critical things that provide to making a unique experience on the console environment. And overall, though, I think that will shift then when people get used to multimedia shit. Once you can stream games easily on your phone or your smart TV or whatever the fuck, then I think people will be less picky about it.
I guess, but also at the same time, I think people want the core experience of these games, right? They want Because I like, yeah, like for example, God of War is on PC, right? But like there's something about, I think it depends on the game. I think it's all like relative. Like God of War, like I played it on PC and on a TV. There's something vastly different than having playing a game like that that's like supposed to be big and epic on like a 24-inch as opposed to a 56-inch TV where you can feel like the
Mm,
whole like world and stuff. Whereas a monitor like this monitor, sure, you're gonna get quicker frame rates, you're gonna get slightly better graphics and everything, but there's something about like a console game natively on a console that feels like it's like it's supposed to be delivered that way. Whereas like if it's on a PC, I guess that's all relative too. But it's like you're playing with um a smaller sort of screen and everything when like it doesn't really translate well. But I don't know. And again, that's game
mm-hmm.
related. Uh, Fucking Call of Duty or Halo or Gears of War. If you brought it onto PC, you'll get the same sort of experience. It's just like quicker, a little bit quicker on PC,
So
but
can I stop you
ultimately,
there? Can I
yeah.
stop you there right quick, just for clarification, right? They are running quicker on different ones. Why?
Because they're developed for one sort of platform in mind. In some cases, not
Okay.
in every case. Like exclusives, for example, are like you're supposed to like play an exclusive on like an Xbox or
Yeah.
PlayStation, but then when they come out on a PC, the PC is supposed to like up the ante, right? And it does it to a degree, but it still like loses that sort of like
Yeah.
what like the whole like thump of the game.
You inadvertently brought up a point I didn't think about before when you're describing the experiences as well, right?
Yeah.
There's a big technological barrier as well to enjoy a PC game at its optimal degree. Like, you need good
Yes.
speakers, you need surround sound, you need to understand how your video card works nowadays to even activate
Yeah.
it, you know? Like, you have to have a
Yeah.
base level of tech knowledge versus if you want to play God of War on your PS5, it's just a matter of plugging it into the TV.
Yes. And then also having a TV that can give you
Touche,
that doesn't
yeah.
get bottlenecked. But no, but that's different though. That's like, oh, you people, that's something you would need, more or less don't need as much. But like to your point, you still need to know what your GPU does if it has the capabilities, if it has all, you have to understand that more because then in order to get the full experience on a PC, I feel like you need to know a lot about your computer to get that. Now
Mm-hmm.
on every game, I don't think it's true for every game. It's different across the board. But for console gaming, uh, you can sort of get away with it a little bit more since the console itself is quite powerful and people's technology, like the TVs they have already at their house, are already kind of powerful enough and can handle this. But like on the PC side, yeah, like you sort of have to like understand if you want that surround sound, if you want the RTX, right? Like not
Mm-hmm.
many people know how to turn that on. Where on consoles, it's a switch. So like there's pros and cons to different consoles and PCs, but like I think the experience sort of like it depends on the game to translate it over to a different platform. Like if you barely played Overwatch on a console, you could transfer that shit. You would just need to remember that you're playing with a controller and not a mouse and keyboards. Okay.
Yeah, so you're saying it does change up the experience, but all in all, it depends on the details of the game, say the development, if it's made for those platforms, or even just like a specific
Yeah.
medium in mind.
Yeah, like how like The Witcher, for example, like people are going to get like It's this big, wide open world, and then playing it on the Switch is like kind of like a different experience than playing it on on like a on a TV because then you can actually feel the the scope of the game. You can feel the actual like
Yeah.
weight of the characters. But on a Switch, it is like, oh, you have it with you. It's like again, like it's just like all relative. This is all relative, but there's certain games that like you can definitely see
Hmm.
the
Well,
the
say
change, like Cyberpunk.
say I've
Yeah.
got first an entry example for listeners, and then I've got like a more advanced example for listeners, right? So like,
What- These multi-dimensional examples up in here.
yeah,
Let's go. These
so that
levels of
people can
understanding.
understand, get the context to what we're just blabbing on about. Um, because say look at Apex Legends or Fortnite, right? If you're
Yeah.
playing against some people on a PC or a PS5, but you're on like your little rinky dink Nintendo Switch, there's gonna be a distinct interactive difference with how you're all experiencing the game. Like your little thing
Mm,
is going to be a little slower than the guy on the computer, and these are just it's a
yeah.
very simple example, but it's a little bit relative. And then if you want to go more advanced, you look at like Call of Duty versus other shooting games, name anyone like Battlefield, you could see like distinct differences in how you can play Call of Duty and it's meant to be on a controller versus then you're going to other shooters that are more catered to PC audiences.
Yeah. It's almost like when developers are like developing games, they're developing what like not all of them, but like they're developing with a certain platform in mind. And from what I understand through my game developer friends, I don't know how accurate this is, but usually they're developing for consoles in mind. So like most of the games are optimized for consoles first, and then comes the PC. And that's why like we see a lot of PC games sort of like uh kind of like lean heavy into like controller use and stuff because like the movement and everything feels more fluid with a controller rather than a mouse and keyboard.
I'm following, and then this is also a genuine question, but also a setup for you to answer, right? I'm an average Joe. I just want to play some video games. I heard that there's a lot of cool ones out right now, right? How am
Mhm.
I supposed to like not all the games cater to you like God of War. How am I supposed to know which one's best for which? What do I do?
Like what are you talking
I
about? Like if they're on a
I'm a
like if
25-year
they're
old. I want to play Fortnite. I ain't got nothing. I got the money.
okay.
What do I do?
Yeah.
How do I figure out which one's best for which platform? How do I navigate this shit?
The good thing I've noticed a lot of developers are doing this now and they're posting it on their social media everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, so you can't really miss out. Is that they post like infographics about all the platforms the thing is playable on, and it shows uh, if it's a high end thing, what it can do on the high end, and if it's on the low end, it can show you what can be done on the low end, and then if it's in medium, it can show what's good. So then at that point, you just have to ask yourself, do you want to be like where do you fit in on that spectrum?
Yeah, because if you investigate, you can typically find these spec sheets, if not on
Yeah,
their
and like
social, on their websites, and then you
yeah,
can check it out and be like,
oh,
yo,
like God of War, Ragnarok, a couple days before it came out, Santa Monica posted all that information. They're like, okay, on a PS5, here's what you get. On a PS4 Pro, here's what you get. On a PS4, here's what you get. Now it's up to you. if you have any of these, boom, you'll just look at the PS4, look at the PS4 Pro, look at the PS5, and you can see exactly what will happen. And that's what like I've seen a lot of developers do that uh,
So the answer is
nowadays.
always just you want to play a video game, go look it up, bitch.
Yeah, that's Google for a
Do
thing.
your research.
Yeah, and gaming is like a premium fucking hobby, and like it's expensive if you get like swindled out of something, right? So it's like, yeah, do your research. Like I know before I get a game, I see if my computer can play it on like at least medium, and if it can, then I fucking get it. But if I start to see like, oh, it's like you can do it, but it's low, I'll see why it's low, and then I just, but like the good thing about PC owners is that they have more to play around with, whereas console owners have more like the box is what they get, and
But so it's
in turn they have less to worry about.
because I'm
That's it.
Mr. Practical, because I'm a baby. For me, the things, it always comes down to my PC provides me way more assets. I can access so many more tools as well as have a fun gaming time. Not everyone's going
Yeah.
to have the 4 monitor setup, but even if you just go buy a gaming tower from Best Buy, at least then you can like use it for X, Y, and Z and do like a couple different things if you wanted to. Do your fucking taxes
Yeah.
on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. And then like I was even thinking about that, but like but like again, not everybody wants to do that. So so yeah, you can just get like a rinky dinky computer and then have a PS5 and then problem solved there, right? But then
Yeah.
people like the whole argument is that like people on consoles don't want to from PC owners, what I've seen when PC owners who spend money on consoles actually like they're not spending money on consoles for one game. That's they like what I'm doing. If I ever get my hands on a PS5, if it ever comes in stock, I'm just getting it for the exclusives, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
only reason. I don't need an Xbox because I can get those things on on PC. So I think I think people who are PC owners that buy a console are looking at it as a long-term investment or like as a companion to their gaming experience. Whereas if it's the other way around, it's just like they're they're going into the gaming or the PC gaming world. But
Yeah. That's why I'm interested in like a middle ground, like a Steam Deck coming out. Something that can be a mobile gaming platform, but has a little bit extra proprietary oomph to it so I can do
yeah,
something with it, you know?
yeah, no, that's yeah, that's another that's a special thing. That's on that's like the Switch and the Steam Deck are literally in its own category, an uncharted category. It's like mobile PC console gaming now, which is like it's not it's the DS category, but it's also not the DS category.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
know what I mean.
It's like the wild stepchild of DS, of like, yeah, mobile gaming. Like the Switch is what the Game Boy was now, kind of. You know what I
Was,
mean?
but like way, but it's an actual it's not a handheld console. That's the thing. It's a console now. The word handheld, you can take it out because like it's like
Yeah, they
yeah,
really
you can
tried
take it
to.
portable, but it's a console now.
Is that even Switch Lite? Let's see the Switch Lite.
The
Does it
Switch
say?
Lite is 100% a handheld. That's
But does it
the Switch
say
Lite
that though?
is
Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah,
uh,
it does.
yeah, handheld, yeah. The
Okay.
Switch should, the normal one, they also should say it's a handheld, but I think because it's like a hybrid. You can't really say it's like a handheld. Because well, what is
Yeah.
it handheld on you docking it? No, it's a fucking console at that point. And even that, it's just like if you're gonna play a game like the Watcher on the Switch, you should play it docked. Because then the frame rates goes up, everything goes up. It becomes a different like a game feels like an actual game. Like not
Yeah.
because like when you're like you have to make sacrifices on your portable mode.
I know. Super helpful advice. I'm sure everyone came
Yeah.
out of listening to this much more
Well, do
clear
you?
on.
I mean, like it does. Like I don't know. It's just like if you
No,
want
it's
to play a
true. It's
certain
how it
game,
works now, though. It's getting crazy. I'm just fucking with you.
figure it out. Figure that shit out.
Ah, I'm so pessimistic, bro. So pessimistic.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of the few times you're allowed to be pessimistic. One of the
All right,
few
Dad.
times. No, but
All right, Dad.
it's just like, yeah, it's such a weird, we're in a weird time where no game developer is safe anymore. Um, they're all making not good games. There hasn't, like, did you see the Game of the Year awards nominee?
No, I'm not that tuned in.
It came out today. Oh, and by the way, guys, we're doing that on December 9th. We're doing a video game award thing. Um, uh, it is it's Stray, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, A Plague Tale, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
All
Cool.
all from developers who actually made not broken games, by the way. And it's interesting because I was reading somewhere that people thought Halo Infinite should have got one nomination from a category, not Game of the Year, based on votes. I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
that game came out last year. It's 2022. We can't really talk about a game that came out last year. In that case, give Jedi Fallen Order a fucking nomination. Let's just open
Yeah,
up
but it's
the
like the
rules and
movie
you
things.
know.
They kind of like bump it back. They give you exceptions. It is some.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of the PR hustle of award shows in general. So I kind of try to pay attention because it helps me understand what are the poppin' titles. But otherwise,
mhm.
I'm like not super invested. You know.
I agree. No, I agree. It's just like it's also kind of cringe too about how it's like certain games are like, oh, so certain games do really good, and then you guys on the other platforms like, yeah, what about this game or that game? Or like, what about it? It's not.
Yeah. Okay, but so we're throwing on our dumb commercial. We'll be right back. We're going to our next segment. We're calling it quits on this one. Raza, Raza, Raza,
What?
Raza. Give these
What?
young blossoming consumers some insight into how they can decipher what tickles their pickle, whether it's console or PC.
Googling it.
Oh, the knowledge. All right, we got one more
Googling it.
K-pop ad. Last week of this, because I got new ones coming out. I'm going to make some creative stuff. We're going to see. I'm probably going to advertise our own shit, of course, though. Be right back. Radio ad Bailey here. You ever seen a TikTok? We make 'em. You watch 'em? Come through. We got 'em. Lots of 'em. Some of 'em. All kinds of 'em. Look at these goods. Please. Thank you for watching.
You figured me out. You got me red-handed. You got me red-handed.
Welcome back, everybody. We're at our new little TikTok segment where we break down news that we think is interesting and valuable, but you may not be hearing a lot of. And we try to bring a couple sources, which you can actually see in the description for this podcast if you would like to go check them out. We're trying to be real journalists here. So, without further, that's not a saying. You're not supposed to say without further ado, Raza. Stop doing it, Raza.
Without further ado, Bailey is going to tell you his story.
So, is Australia? Oh, mouthful. Is Australia?
Australia?
Yeah, is Australia? No, it's not. Wrong accent. Is Australia the first domino to fall in the collapse of the monarchy? So, dumb disclaimer. Although I don't like I understand that Australia has a similar political structure to Canada. It's kind of like a little different. So I want to make sure to emphasize that I am by no means an expert here. So following Lizzie's great journey to go, like, I'm going to have to bleep that. Australia took a little time to like suss out what's good with their ancient system and some of their roots. So get this, Australia isn't even officially a democracy. It is a federal parliamentary constitutional monarchy, not a democracy. It's not even in the title of their political system. So if you want to correct me, drop that in the comments, because that's definitely an important one to correct me on. Nonetheless, there's a buzz starting to fester in the nation asking them to take another referendum on becoming an independent republic. So to completely split from the Queen. The government has promised that it is interested in this, and it will propose a vote to gauge the Aussies' feelings about it. So not necessarily a vote to put it in place, but to see if the majority populace wants to split. As I said, dumb disclaimer, so look it up yourself, but they also recently passed the Voice to Parliament referendum, which empowers Indigenous people to directly influence policy. So alongside the House of Commons, they'll have like another council of all of the Indigenous tribes that have equal voting power on all of the policies.
Okay.
So, Raza, now that we're on the questions part, is this it? Do you think that these ex-fugitives wanting to split up from the Queen?
God damn, man, this fucking loaded language with this. Ex-fugitives. God. Jesus.
So do you think them holding the grudge, you think they're actually going to be able to cut it off?
Yeah, because I don't think Australians really a monarchy is a big deal in Australia as it is in Britain. I assume it's easier to let go of it there than it is in the host country, right? So it'll be easily passed because Australia, they're not that liberal, but I from what I've been told, they're more liberal than England. So I think that they're more progressive in their thinking. So maybe, but
yeah,
I've been proven wrong before. But,
it's about due time. I gotta give you your flowers. I really didn't think you were calling out. You're like, yeah, why don't we just say fuck it, get rid of the Governor General? And that's exactly what they're doing. They're just like, why do we still have a Governor General? Let's get rid of the Governor General.
I mean, for us, yeah, why don't we do that? But it seems to be they already have their foot in the door. They just need to.
I'm so torn. I know. I was stunned. I was stunned that you were correct when I saw the headlines, and then I started reading about it, because their ex-conservative prime minister was like, "No, we ain't doing this shit. We ain't having this talk." And then now that the Queen is dead, the new prime minister is kind of going, "Yeah, we're gonna consider it. Let's throw a vote." So, yeah, my conspiracy ass, Raza, what I noticed. It's like, this isn't making like international news, bro. Like, is it some sort of, you think people want to make sure that all the Queen's good men stay nice and quiet?
It's conspiracy theory, bro. It's like mainstream media doesn't want you to know that Australia wants to become a normal country for once, even though their animals are like huge and they're not normal. But no, I don't know. I don't know.
Saying I'm spicy. Saying I'm spicy.
Hey, that's a common thing. Fucking, have you seen a camel spider before? They scream while running at you. They're like massive.
Yeah, I'm more interested in watching kangaroos box. I like me some kangaroo boxing.
I fuck with it.
Yeah.
I fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've fucked with it. Especially like how they're so jacked. It's like that.
Yeah, bro. Biceps massive.
Yeah.
Massive. That's a fun YouTube one time, everybody. But all right, I'm done. Good on Bebe's story. Raza, what you got today? What you got
I
today?
got some hard hitting news involving some sort of currency. That's right. The cryptocurrency trading firm called FTX filed bankruptcy on Friday, which it also confirmed an unauthorized access just hours before they filed that a bankruptcy. It's not there's no really set number, but there is $477 million missing from the firm, and nobody has any idea where it is. There's another 186 million moved around to FTX's assets for safety, so more stuff doesn't get hacked in. But before the fall, FTX was the largest crypto exchange in the world, but they were still short of billions of dollars throughout their entire throughout the last year or two. All this caused the CEO, which get his name is Sam Bankman Fried to resign right after. The aftermath of this has caused Bankman and his allies to lose uh, allies in Washington, many of them who are GOP leaders. So he was paying for many, he was endorsing many campaigns, paying or donating to many campaigns, specifically GOP members. The Miami Heat have cut ties with FTX and are changing the the Heat Arena to a different name. This past weekend, they took out like immediately. So they took out the name off the top of the arena, and the Miami Heat are looking for new buyers for the arena. A fun fact about that arena, Brazzers, you know, the popular site or the popular uh,
Service, web
production
service,
company.
web service.
So service has put their name in to buy the arena, so it could be called the Brazzers Miami Heat Arena in a couple weeks, or some or something. So the questions I have for you, Bailey,
Yes, sir.
are so is now so so is now a good time to say Bitcoin isn't good, or is there still some
No,
some,
because
some
Raza,
hope?
it's not Bitcoin's fault. It's not Bitcoin's fault. It's these
Yeah.
greedy traders. So you see, if you invest today in Ascoin, I can
That's
actually
good.
help recoup your funds
To
two
ask
times over. Two times over. But for
two times
realsies,
over, so guys.
for realsies, that's the weird argument people are gonna make. They're gonna say, well, the solidified blockchains are still like separate and independent. But even if another exchange goes down, you're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
lose your money in Bitcoin. That this is where it's
Okay.
kind of fucked because FTX was able to double dip because they're an exchange, but you could also buy their tokens. So then they're
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
providing a currency while also it's like if a bank you could also like then take out bank dollars like specific to your bank and only use
TD
those
dollars.
at TD dollars or like fucking Chase Master dollars and you can
That's
only
right.
use them
Yeah.
at Dunkin' Donuts or some shit.
Too elaborate. Okay. So the missing $477 million. Many people think it's a hack. Nobody has any answers for it. But to this, because it's still really early on in the investigation, FTX has no idea where that chunk of change went. Do you have any theories you want to drop on us, Bailey, or do you just want to plead the fifth?
The YouTube videos I watched was that it was some insider trading that no one's able to
Okay.
exactly trace it, but it's he basically
Yeah.
had a shell company that his shell company he would pay the money to. They would buy the tokens from FTX and then transfer it into other tokens. And then once they've transferred it into other tokens, it's harder to keep track of. They were like washing the money. so no one knows
Yeah.
exactly where it went. But I would say that it was just pretty obvious.
Um, I thought he just he liquidated like the money and put them into like, you know, Panama type accounts.
Yeah.
No?
Oh yeah. No, maybe for him.
Oh,
For
okay.
him, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think he was actually invested. There was money stolen 110%. All these mans be taking money. That's all they did.
Okay.
I don't
I
trust them.
trust a guy named Bankman. Bankman. I trust fucking trustworthy
Trust
name.
no
Bankman.
man's named Bankman. Bankman.
Bankman. All right. So, how is crypto still profitable? How can people argue crypto is still profitable? Because the biggest exchange in the world, FTX, even though it was huge and large, it was operating out of loss. Is there some sort of smoke screen going up there that sort of like uh tricks people, or is it just people just investing dumbly or blindly?
I think it's people investing blindly because a lot of these things are like pretty much just Ponzi schemes at this point because there's no federal regulations. So if I decide to invest in FTX as a Bitcoin exchange, there is no guarantee set out there in the world I'm going to get my money back. So you're kind of like you're investing in a Kickstarter in a way. And if
All
it
right.
don't work out,
Yeah.
if you ain't get your
I
returns,
mean,
then you lost your money, bro.
don't with the Kickstarter, isn't one of if the Kickstarter doesn't reach a limit, don't the things go like doesn't the money go back to the people that donated, or is that
Oh
go
no,
fund?
it depends. Indiegogo and sometimes GoFundMe. It really depends on how you set your account up, but not all of them give
Oh,
your money back. That's why Kickstarters became the notorious one because people usually start the product and run with the money.
oh, we should have done that. Uh, so, and then I'm just gonna combine these last 2 points. Is this like since since it's just this is one of the many signs that crypto is obviously not stable and not profitable. And so
Say your true
if this goes
feelings.
on,
Tell them what you feel.
what?
Tell them what you
Well,
feel.
yeah. It's just like it isn't profitable. It isn't stable. Daddy Musk tweets out something, and the entire like the crypto economy goes on a free fall. So with this happening, crypto in reality, I don't think it'll go away anytime soon. But what does this mean for the future of crypto? Will people be a little bit more aware, or will the behavior sort of like continue on?
I think the behavior will continue on a little bit because there will always be these gurus tricking people into that industry because inevitably grifters gonna grift, so they're going to
Okay.
want to funnel people towards that platform. So I think it will stay
Okay.
alive in some way because not to be a sketch bag, but people need a way to make black money and a way to hustle people, so that's going to be kept alive through scams.
Or yeah, but would it go like the way of NFTs where NFT people are just trading amongst themselves?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it would be an insider's club.
Or-
That's a good way to scam people to get in and take their money if they're not a large investor.
So,
Same as the
hmm,
stock market,
so
bro. It's the exact same as
that's
the stock
literally
market.
hey, no, stock market is real. You know how I know? It's there. I can see it. There's no crash. We're not in a recession. Or right now, inflation is in the head. It's like my understanding. It's a man-made concept. Inflation. If we don't
Don't
think
worry
about it,
about
it's
your
not.
$8 bacon, bro. Don't worry about your $8
Yeah.
bacon. It's
No.
going to be
Yeah.
okay.
It's gonna be okay. And when it gets to $12, just know that it's not real. It's not. None of it is actually real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
memory wipes all around, all around.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was my whole spiel. I learned to. I thought the Bankman was being charged with something, but not yet. I don't think. I'm
Oh
not
no,
gonna speak on that.
they're gonna get scotch
I
free.
think
I'm adding my one loosey goosey, and I'll probably cut this part. But Bruh, it's like we're watching elections and everyone's like, oh yeah, I promised to help reduce crime, or I promised to help, oh, look at the police budget, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, what about all these people there's so many white-collar criminals that just walking away from everything, like every other day in America. And it's like, I think we're
Yeah.
focusing on the wrong people here.
In any other country, if they went after the rich, we would call them authoritative, an authoritarian or authoritative government because they're ruining the the fucking the economy by limiting what they can do. But in America, it's all about just do whatever you want to do. Free money, baby.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. As long as you're going to get my kid into Yale, I don't care what you do.
Oh yeah, because that's yeah. And this is why we live in a great society. I love North America. Totally don't have to deal with any sort of like issues based on skin color. But no, other than that, it's great. It's great.
Okay, Raza, what are we talking about? Bailey's gonna talk about how if you follow Marching into Madness, you people listening, that's it. You, Raza, you right there. Yeah, that's you. That's you. You see you. Look at that face.
I'm that guy he's talking about. I'm Raza Malik. I'm the guy who supports Marching into Madness on half of my back. The other one is Wine Mom. And
Yeah.
Bailey just put that shit together and throws us into the flames of creativity.
Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Go to
We got-
YouTube. Y-O tub.
Ruining my ad. Hit the bell button. We need the bell button. You know the ding. Every YouTuber says it. I'm adding it in now. We need you to hit the notification button because we're starting to post again, as well as post some of our live streams. We're going to be doing the Tuesday live streams for Bailey's eBay. We'll be going up there. And then maybe our gaming, too, because we're going to try to play the YouTube game as well.
And there it is. All right.
Oh, we got the submitted news section.
What is the submitted news section? Oh, it was the
Yeah. We got one, and I got another one too. And so I'll give the summary here. Raza, we got our submitted news section. When we do our tickety talks, if you want to hop in, or you want to hop in on IG, or you shoot us an email at marchingintomadness@gmail. We would like to.
Email.
Yeah, if that's a tool that you still enjoy using. We want to apply our skills to stories that you send us. We want to dig into topics that like we might not have found out about otherwise and look into some cool stuff, find weird new facts. This week, we kind of plugged some of our own in, but no, you could participate whenever. Last week, we had Panda. Shout out Panda. So, Raza pulled up this excellent story, especially considering how much news Daddy Musk has been mixing up by messing with the Twitter sphere. What we are looking at now is Jay Leno. Jay Leno has experienced burns from an unexpected vehicle fire, supposedly. And Raza's Twitter journalists, which he has sent, which are the ratio gods, have also investigated that Jay Leno has very recently received a new Tesla. Was it a Cybertruck or Model S?
It was a normal Tesla.
Just a normal-ass Tesla. Now, Teslas are known to catch fire spontaneously.
And run over children.
So, I personally am not surprised by the quinky dink here. And that is very quiet. Because Jay Leno getting burnt by one of his cars, that's mainstream news. That's enough to stir up a buzz. You could get some boomers caring about that. So I would think Elon gave him a nice little checky poo to be like, don't just, let's, sorry.
No,
You don't think so?
he just said no. He's just like, here's another Tesla. There you go. Here's another. Here's
Here,
another.
Leno.
Here, here's a free Tesla, and it won't break. Trust me. But apparently, he had gasoline in the car. He was like he had a like some in a container, and somehow it caught on fire.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. And then he got burnt too. So it just and then he tweeted out, I think you have the tweet there somewhere, how he like loves the the Tesla, or like how
Yeah.
what was it? Here was like, does Jay Leno drive uh a Tesla? And he said Tesla is probably 8 to 10 years ahead of battery technology. And this was in 2021. And then that happens.
Yeah. It's kind of sus. It's kind of sus. So let's hope Jay Leno recovers well. He is a little bit of an old man. He's not my favorite person.
Yeah,
But
shout out to his jean jackets, or his his jit. Whatever his his jit, because he wears all like jean denim material shit. It is kind of sad. He took a picture with the Delinky twins earlier on before the explosion.
the Who twins?
The Da Vinci twins, they're like those like guys with like the big hair and whatnot.
The Island Boys?
No.
No, that's
God
okay.
damn.
I don't know who you're talking about. You can send this on later. Anyways, I have another special shout out. I had one more story that I noticed while I was like scrolling through headlines this morning. Right?
Okay. Okay.
So I want you to, is it cap or nah? I need you to tell me if you think it's cap or nah, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Let's go.
So Bezos says that before he dies, he will give away almost all of his wealth, bragging that it would be like up to 80% of all of the money he's ever made, that he will give it all away in philanthropy. Do you think he'll do it?
Okay. I think it's I think it's cap, because why doesn't he do it like now? Just give away it now. Why does it have to be when he dies? Yeah. Yeah.
So that he can get the glory still. So he can get the glory. He's going to do it before he dies, and then he'll live immortally in history books.
On his deathbed, he's just like, I'm going into the pearly gates now. I'm going in. We're getting it. Bezos, Bezos, Bezos.
Bezos dies, the AI takes over, Amazon Web Services becomes sentient the day Bezos passes.
It just comes to a hardware computer and kills us. We're like, or like it plugs us in. It's like the Matrix, where it's like, now you're all gonna be Amazon employees. No, no more wash and breaks for you.
I just read it. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. And if he does, it's for selfish reasons. It's because he'll be a trillionaire, and he's like, fuck it, all right, I'll give away the $2 billion.
And then he can do it like as he's on his deathbed, be like, sick, I got tax write off, I can just file this on my tax like next year. And his like 20-something-year-old girlfriend would be like, you're gonna die in like an hour or two. I don't think this stuff matters. He's like, but I did it. And
It's
shit.
all bow down to
No,
Daddy
that's
Bezos.
yeah. That's I think it's like yeah. It's cap, because like, again, if he's gonna do it now.
Ain't no
Why
way.
does it have to be? Yeah, ain't no way. Yeah, ain't no way. And like, Musk Daddy said that too, but he bought Twitter instead. So like 0.00, it would be less than 1% of his wealth could solve world hunger.
It's like, man, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But back to the video game topic. We're going to close it off with one more thoughts. I want your one more thoughts on the video game topic. What do you think the next form of this beast is? Now, don't give me a depending answer. Give me a Raza's creative? Is it going the way of the Switch? Is everyone gonna have a desktop? What do you think?
No, it's going towards a. I believe it's. If anything, if there's a good indication of where gaming is going, I feel like it's going towards whatever Microsoft is doing, where it's not going to be about hardware. It's all going to be about an ecosystem. Google Stadia showed us that streaming isn't in that. We're not at that stage yet. We're still early on, but the fact that you can pay for a service and download these games on like a TV or stream the games onto at least a TV, but then download it on like your Xbox, your computer, your cell phone, and other stuff. I think it's going towards that. But I it's we're gonna start seeing instead of how you can play it, it's gonna be like where you can play it.
Mm.
Exclusives, I can't speak on that because I don't because I'm seeing some very interesting behavior in our gaming landscape for exclusives. So especially on Sony's side, so I don't know what's going to happen to them. Will they be ported over to PC at least for on day one basis? That's still up in the air, so I don't know. But I think for the grand scheme of things, for multiplats, we're going to start seeing people going and paying for services to play these multiplats and shit.
So, a good fan-based question would be, what about offline gameplay? Would it all be just like downloading it to whatever device ends up
That's a
being
tricky
that?
one. Yeah, that's another interesting because I even thought about that. I was just like, how are they gonna do yeah, single player type beat? How are they gonna do it? Because for Game Pass and all that, you need a constant internet connection, right? So
Yeah.
like it sort of like throws it all up in the air, but like what is ownership? What is do you actually like what are these games now? So like unless like it goes the course where there are digital games where you own them, but you still buy them, but there's no physical edition, and the streaming service, if it goes like that into the future, I think it could combat that where like you still have these offline experiences, but then you have to do it, but it's like digitally bought, so it's not
Well,
like
like you brought it up earlier
yeah.
in the episode, like
Yeah.
Halo Infinite didn't have co-op, like single player co-op, or any co-op
Yeah.
at that, but it's
Mhm.
because once you translate it to an online only service, there's more complications, blah 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 blah. You got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's I know you don't want a depending answer, but it ultimately is gonna end up a depending into a depending answer because it's just like as far as we can see, the gaming culture is going towards in like where it's like a service based, where it's like an ecosystem you can pay into rather than having individual thing because it's accessible, it's affordable. And then with the single player concept, people like I play single player games more than once. I go to do the campaigns, but not many people do that. And I think game developers and the gaming industry is looking at that and be like, instead of making people pay $80 for these one-time games, let's put it onto the service where they don't have buyers on remorse. They can just pay $15 a month, and then they can pay that.
Yeah.
But it's super interesting because we're in a transitional period about this all, and Game Pass is showing how where gaming can go in a very
Yeah.
weird way. It
I
6 7 years ago, if you told me about this, I would be like, "We no, don't talk to me. This is some loony doony stuff." But,
I know no one does it, but I wish no one does it anyways. So it's kind of irrelevant, but ideally you would have it like an iTunes where you can have your iMusic subscription, stream the music, or you could still be a boomer and pay for the album.
yeah,
Like ideally you
yeah,
should have the two different options for DRM and ownership. Say if you're on
yeah,
Steam and you're downloading the game, then you own the game rather than the tricky DRMs that it's just still another fucking web-based IP that they own.
yeah, yeah. No, it's just like I think it's different for music because that's like a lot easier to do for music. For gaming, it's just like there's a lot of these different people who want money from like one brand and stuff. But for music, you're just for an artist. You're just paying the artist. Where if you're doing like Call of Duty or something, you gotta pay like Microsoft. You gotta pay all these people on top of that. So
That's
it makes sense to put them on different sort of like services in order to get the revenue back.
because
But
although Steam, and for those who don't know, Steam is a games library for the PC, one of the older ones owned by Valve, which actually isn't owned by Sony or Microsoft, so it's debatably profitable. But the thing with the streaming era too, right? You're choking out small artists or indie developers because then you're looking. It's kind of like Netflix movies. I need to get a budget from Netflix now to get this running because there ain't nobody sourcing small films anymore other than production studios that work with X, Y, or Z. Right? I can't make my Jedi Fallen Order game or Fall Guys or Fortnite without being able to go to Epic Games and be like, look, if this is scalable, I need X amount of money from you.
okay, yeah.
Because you won't be able to just put it out into a free marketplace as easily.
No, yeah. No, that's yeah. You basically hit the nail on the head because there's a lot more moving parts for the gaming thing, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I agree with that. No, it's yeah, you no, it's, you are right about that. And yeah, it's just like how the industry is like sort of. I think we're assuming the gaming industry will be like that to a T, but it can't be because it's like more there's more revenue streams for the game for one single game. You know what I mean?
That is a critical difference. I would agree there.
Yeah. So like the skeleton of it all may be the same as like Netflix and maybe the same as like the artist example, but then when you get into the meat of it, is it's like okay, then because gaming itself is just like you have to like get everybody on board in order to make that game have a profit, right? Whereas music, you can yeah, on record companies obviously do shady stuff, but it's still like there's still like that one base that they can rely on, and it's fans, right? So whereas gaming is just like say Call of Duty has to try to get everybody into its net, right, in order to make that money back. So
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. There's a lot of complexities there, but generally you're correct. I would agree. I would agree.
like music is yeah, it's just music. I
Well,
feel
and yeah,
like
we'll
the
end
whole
up in like
Spotify.
a endless debate about nuances on either side. So overall,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just like one like Spotify. I don't know, but I know Spotify does some shitty stuff towards artists. But like and now imagine that on like a bigger scale about developers who need to pay an entire team rather than one person. So it's like yeah, it's like it's like the outline of it is pretty much the same, but the intricacies are like oh, it's like very much like two distinct worlds.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
I was on my high horse as a elder millennial being on the internet early. When I was a preachy boy on the internet, I was always trying to tell people about how much Spotify pays out because no one knew that shit when it first started. Everyone's like, "Oh, cool, yeah, they're getting my homie's getting 50,000 streams on Spotify," and it's like, bro, he made 5 cents.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
It's not 5 cents, but it's like $2, $5. It's like really nothing to get you. Like 10,000 streams on Spotify, I think is like 2 cents or something like that.
Yeah, like, yeah, like, see, that's another difference right there. It's just like Spotify pays artists depending on plays. For every 100 plays, they get like X amount of dollars, right? Or 1,000 plays or whatever. But for
Hmm.
on Game Pass or PlayStation Now, Sony and Microsoft actually pay the game itself, and then I forget how much the contract is, but like Microsoft takes a cut like 30
Hmm.
percent, and then the rest goes towards. So there is a guaranteed on Game Pass that there is a large change of money going towards the developers, but like Spotify and like Game Pass, things that have to share. What I've noticed that big games make a lot of money on Game Pass. Like big artists make a lot of money on Spotify. So it's just like it isn't. If you're an indie artist or if you're an indie developer, you'll get shit back, but it won't be enough to support the next sort of game you want to make. But it helps the long term of the revenue stream. But for Spotify, it's like, oh, it's every 5,000 plays that they have to make, and assuming people will constantly be playing their songs back to back.
What a beast! What a
What a
beast!
Mr. Beast.
What a Mr. Beast! What a Mr.
Yeah.
Beast, bruh. Last sidetrack, and then I'm going to the tweet of the week before we sign off here. I got one last sidetrack. Have you, now that we're venturing into TikTok or even just on your time on YouTube, seen how many there's obnoxious like Mr. Beast clones trying to get his attention?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
bajillion
I've seen that,
videos
yeah.
of like, yeah, I made the biggest this. I filled my pool with this. Mr. Beast, tag him. Tag him.
He's so like I won't say much, but Mr. Beast is solely responsible for like the creators leeching off of his content, and they're super unoriginal for doing that.
I know, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with it, because it's like you were saying, it's the TikTok era has made it so things spread out quicker. You were saying like you're in Chicago and all those, you're seeing people doing the interviewer TikToks, which is like so poppin', and since things spread quicker, I find more people are able to hop on the trend more visibly, you know what I mean?
On TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, in
Because
general.
it's easier. Oh, you
That's
okay.
Yeah, say like,
yeah,
cause like if I'm a kid and
yeah,
I'm
it's
seeing Mr. Beast do the shit, yeah, it's a lot easier for me to quickly emulate his stuff, because now I know how to do everything. There's more YouTube videos, blah blah blah. It's like I can right away start being a copycat.
And with that, creativity goes out the door. So this is why, creators out there like this stuff, because like, oh, there's gonna be a million Mr. Beasts, there's gonna be a million Mr. Rosses and stuff. So it's just like, oh, let's. They don't care. It helps their brand get bigger. Like I guarantee you, Mr. Beast is like encouraging this, like more.
Oh yeah.
More and stuff. So.
Well, it's especially if he's watching the top G's. You're watching the top G's play their game by making other people cut their content and post it for them while they're banned off platforms. He's just copying the same shit. Mr. Beast is just doing the good version of it. Not necessarily good, but I mean the not misogynist version of it.
That's the bar. Just not that, but he's doing good. It's just it's super like as long as it makes him still relevant, it's gonna be a plus there.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So it's social media is a weird game. I'm a gamer. I should be good at this stuff, but I'm not. So
All right, we got the tweet of the week ready here. Oh my god, it's so pixelated. It's kind of funny anyways. It makes it...
Oh, Bailey.
Yo, you gotta, because you're copy and pasting, you gotta give me a bigger JPEG file. It doesn't scale.
Knows how it's my fault? It's always my fault.
Do you take a big screen, you take your whole screenshot and then you crop it down, don't you? That's what you do,
I
isn't it?
screenshot it on my phone.
That's why
it's easier to do it that way. It's easier to do it that way.
Oh my god.
Print screening ship can suck my nuts.
He doesn't give me any. He gives me no pixels. He doesn't give me. This is unprofessional. Unprofessional. But it's legit more stress. So, tweet of the week for the audio listeners. Raza picked out a very tasteful one this week. He's been really classy as of late. His humor's been astounding me. The tweet is, I do explosive diarrhea every day, and my penis is small.
Then read the one under it.
The one under it says, FML. I thought I changed my name to Elon Musk before doing this.
It was during that week when people were doing it. I'm saving gooder ones for like the following, the closer we get to the holidays.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's just like, low-hanging fruit. I don't
But
mind
the
it
point
though.
of the joke, the punchline was the second tweet though. That's the point of of why he's tweeting it like that. Because then, if it was, it's a highbrow joke if you think about it. Because it's about impersonating somebody else, but he thought he was impersonating somebody else.
The old one too. The old switcheroo. The old,
Yeah.
I thought you were an emerald mining billionaire, and it's just a normal guy with poopy pants.
Hey, first of all, when he bought Twitter, he actually walked into the headquarters, let that sink in, right? So this is not a. He could have easily tweeted out something like this.
Yeah, this is what you're hedging your bets on. This is the hill you choose to die on.
Absolutely, and see how many retweets it got. It slapped.
You gotta stop living by the ratios, Raza. Stop living by the
Buddy.
ratios. The ratios don't define your life. It's gonna be gone soon. Daddy Musk will take it from
Oh,
you. Your
dude,
life energy will be gone.
Have you seen the meme? Have you seen the meme where it's just like Elon Musk is ruining Twitter, and it's a clip of Wolf of Wall Street where Leonardo DiCaprio is like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here. And shit. That's basically everybody on Twitter. And stuff. So
That's
it's kind of
everybody on
like
Twitter.
jokes how, yeah, they're like, because it's like watching a train wreck. People just come back to the platform just to see the fire that's being dumped on.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot of rubbernecking. A lot of people want to come by
Yeah.
and see what's good. You know that because even my grandmother. That's my Elon scale. My grandmother was asking about Twitter. And last topic before we sign out. My grandmother was asking about Twitter. It's like, bro, this is very clearly permeated to the point that just the general person wants to stand in awe of what's happening here for some reason.
I guess it's like an ego thing.
An ego thing?
Certain people.
Yeah, because the older type people always had like the billionaires, like the Trumpians, the Warren Buffetts. So they're like, oh, look at this guy that should be
New guy.
idolized by society, doing what he wants. Yeah, the new guy.
Yeah.
Ghislaine's
like, oh.
homie. I said one name. Only one name.
We're
I
gonna
say
get
one
banned,
name.
and it's not because of me. It's not because of me. I'm glad it isn't gonna be because of me.
Anyways, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Bailey has to do some editing. Bailey's been behind on the episode, so if you're listening, thank you. I appreciate y'all. I was struggling to balance my schedule with my new job, but we're back on course. Raza went to Chicago. He spit on the bean. He polished it. He also solved the debate of what wieners are best, and he ate a whole deep dish pizza in one sitting.
Actually, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, I had a deep dish pizza, and actually, fucking, you have to go there to actually have a proper deep. Because anywhere else, I've had deep dish pizzas here in Canada. It's okay, but then if you go there, it's like okay, it's actually like real, like grease-filled pizza, and you feel bad about it afterwards, and that's half of the experience.
So, if you guys want to contribute to Bailey's heart attack fund for when he has to go to the hospital while he is in the States, what you can do is
Oh
you can
no, I have to fly me over to Canada. I don't want to pay like $30,000.
put me in the air while my heart's in convulsions. Don't worry about the altitude change. Fuck it.
I'm not going in debt there. Fuck that noise.
But closing out, if you want to contribute to Raza's PJ to cure his heart attacks, what you got to do,
What?
PJ, private jet.
Oh, private jet. Okay. Oh, we're using fucking acronyms for short words already. Oh, we're so cool. Oh my god.
Yeah. What you got to do, follow us, Instagram. It's kind of dead there. We're kind of just reposting other content because
Your
Fuck.
one is popping off. It's not really dead. It's been
I
going
know.
on for like 3 months now.
fuck the Zoc. Fuck the Zuck.
I thought I was like, you're telling me to calm down here. You fucking just dropping Hail Marys.
Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTubes. We're getting our YouTubes popping. That's just growing. You got to come say hi. We've been waiting for you. I saw you last Tuesday, and I really liked your shoes. Also, if you subscribe to our Twitch, you're benefiting a whole network of content. Not only do we make these podcasts, we play video games on Fridays, and Bailey does his weird hobbies, and Raza makes some fun stuff about video games and eating cereal, as well as eggnog reviews. Speaking of eggnog reviews, coming soon. And if you stick around after this podcast, you get to pick our minds on what really matters. This week, we talked about gaming, so who knows? Maybe afterwards, we're going to talk about which nog goes best with which game. That's
We're cutting into my God of War time. Holy crap. Let's get the show on the road. Let's fucking go.
All right. We'll be right back. We're putting on the old outro. We miss Wine Mom.